Here we are on a Friday morning, Super Friday for some of us, and the biggest story from last night with that draft is that we did not hear Shedeur Sanders' name get called. Second round's coming up tonight, and it didn't feel like maybe we would have this moment because not too long ago it looked like it might be between Cam Ward or Shedeur to actually go first QB to be drafted, but here is how things stand. Shedeur may be dealing with things in good spirits because we heard him talk earlier in the show. Then he hopped out on social media and said, "I'm built for whatever today may bring." This is what he said before the draft yesterday at 2:52 Eastern. 16.1 million people viewed that tweet. And now we have today to deal with where hopefully he's built for whatever is coming this way today as well. Best available, according to Ryan Wilson, it's not Shedeur topping the list. It is Mike Green, but Shedeur is the first and only QB to make the cut of the top 12. Shedeur certainly has the most intrigue surrounding him as we wonder what the next step is for him as we get cracking with that second and third rounds tonight. We said he was going to be here, and here he is. The man with the pepper on the jacket, the green with the flair for the dramatic, Emory Hunt, live and in the building with us right now.
He's in the wrong place. Supposed to be in the green room in Green Bay.
Hey, man, listen, my draft day coming. Don't worry about that.
Your draft, okay. I don't know what sport, because you kind of aged out of a little bit of things right there. But,
wow.
but either way, Shedeur Sanders has not aged out of being able to play in the NFL. But here we go with him not getting that name picked last night. What's going on? How did we get here?
Listen, I would say this about what we saw last night, what we saw transpire. This is not necessarily about Shedeur Sanders more so than it is about Deion Sanders. And I feel like the league, we've seen this before, the league have come together around a common purpose to say, hey, we're not going to let you dictate where this particular player goes. Who do you think you are, the Mannings? So we've seen this before, right? And so for Shedeur, because if it's football related, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. But we've also seen that before. We saw, what, in 2017, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson go behind Mitch Trubisky, who wasn't the best quarterback at the time in the ACC. Gerard Evans was better than him and also Deshaun Watson, yet he went second overall. So it's not normal, it's not new to see a guy that has top-tier accuracy, the football IQ, the situational football with the game-winning drives and the comebacks and all of those things. That, to me, those are elite traits. I mean, since 1869, the highest completion percentage in college football history. Harriet Tubman was still around roaming the earth when football started, and he has the best in history. So it's not the football stuff. It's the ancillary things. And if you think about how Coach Prime was in 2023 when he got that upset win against TCU, and now you look at how he was a little bit more subdued in 24, I think this is kind of like the catchback, like, hey, you can't dictate to us, we dictate to you.
So why punish the athlete? Because if we talk about it, you've already said it, and you guys have said it multiple times leading up to the draft, the numbers are there. A lot of people are surprised that even Jackson Dart was the second, and he's not even selected yet, and we got to wait to round 2. But when it comes to those landing spots here, are we still thinking Steelers? They don't have a second-round pick. And the Saints, we don't know what's going to happen with Carr in his situation this season. Where can he land? And you know, when will this, I guess, say, quote-unquote, punishment end for Shedeur?
Listen, I watch you guys a lot. You guys do a fantastic job on the show. So I was watching the show earlier, and Aditi King-Wallace said something that kind of stuck to me. She talked about the Browns having those two second-round picks, those high picks, and that they couldn't necessarily, they don't have to take Shedeur there. So let's think about this, right? We saw them bypass Travis Hunter, and then we saw them go ahead and say, okay, we're going to position ourselves with 2 of the top 3 picks in the second round. They can take a Luther Burden. They can also take a Travion Henderson, and then they can come and still take Shedeur in round 3 or trade into round. We've seen them make moves. Yeah. Now, if they take Shedeur, I want to slap everybody in the face in Cleveland because you passed on Travis Hunter. You could have paired up Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. But jokes aside, I like the fact that they can still take Shedeur. But you think about Pittsburgh. You also think about a team like New Orleans. It all depends on what they feel about Spencer Rattler, who I like a lot. I think you can win with Spencer Rattler. We heard NFL coaches say in the offseason he played really well last season. So for me, I look at the Rams, I look at the Steelers, and I look at the Browns are places where Shedeur could fall. But because the league is king petty, and we've seen this before, it would not surprise me to see them hold firm and Shedeur goes undrafted. That's another possibility.
Wait. Undrafted altogether, or are you saying not drafted today in the second or third round?
If you had a quarterback in this class that had the type of accuracy, the game-winning drives, all of the hero moments that people love, the Heisman moments, the flash moments, and you've seen this time and time again against competition. I know now people think there's only 2 conferences that has top-level competition, but we hadn't seen Shedeur Sanders fold in the clutch.
Yeah.
So if that quarterback doesn't go in round 1, and we've seen the backlash against Coach Prime, yeah, I could see him not going drafted at all because the league loves to make points because they don't want a situation where a guy can dictate where he wants to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I want to be able to flex out with the watch here.
Just like
It's 2 different watches, that's
man.
what I made, but I still bust out my Apple Watch a little bit. Of course, when we get ready for the second round tonight, a lot of names that will be drafted here within those first 5 picks, and I want to see what you think will be the lay of the land as we go through the beginning of the first 5 tonight. We have this to show up. Shedeur, first 5. This is what you were thinking of how it's going to. So forget undrafted. This is how you think it should go tonight.
Correct. Shedeur should listen. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett. You can't sit there and tell me and say that they don't need a quarterback. Like, no, Shedeur Sanders should go, right? Luther Burton's the best wide receiver I feel like on the board. I think that's the guy that should go next. Mike Green, loved the fact that he can convert the speed to power really well. And what I really love about his game is the fact that play 55 is just like play 1. This dude doesn't get tired, and that type of pass rush kind of yields stuff you have in success. Travion Henderson has the best combination of footwork, vision, explosiveness, and he's a great pass protector, might be the best at the position in the class, which will get him on the field. And Will Johnson, here's the thing about him. I know they have the knee concern and the knee issue that talking about Will Johnson, why he fell out of the first round, but Tajay Spears was found to not have an ACL, and I know that pushed him out of higher picks of the draft, and we saw him have a fantastic rookie season with Tennessee. So I know folks are worried about Will Johnson's knee injury, how long can he play, but at the end of the day, it becomes tremendous value here in round 2, because if he plays well and is showing that he's playing through that knee pain or knee injury or knee issue, then you can re-up him. That's the beauty about going in round 2. You get to hit that cash register sooner than guys in round 1.
It's one name I was surprised that didn't go in the first, because you guys have talked about you and Leger Duzabo when it comes to Mike Green from Marshall, led the nation in sacks. So we'll see how it pans out for those 5, if they are the top 5 coming out in the second. We did see one guy yesterday, and of course he's embedded into the culture when it comes to Will Campbell. Now, of course, now a Boston man and sharing his love for New England, and he had to do an accent. I want you to take a listen because we have one of our own, but why don't you listen to Will first?
Have you heard a Boston accent?
Yeah, from the movie Ted.
All right, can you do one for us?
Let me think. What's a good thing, I guess?
I think it is an AR.
Let me park the car.
All right, well, you'll get good practice at it.
No doubt, no doubt. I'll need somebody to teach me.
You keep the drawl, I think. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So Will is clearly coachable. He's willing to take some type of lessons. But then there are some people that just do it on their free will and believe they can do that. That happens to be our guy, Zach Aldridge. So he's going to do that for you right now. I need you to judge 1 to 10. What do you think? Go ahead.
Emory, I need you to go park the car and head out to the yard. I'm going to go sit in the Monster and go watch some baseball while I'm out here. I'm wicked smart with it. Wicked smart, I know my ball.
That may be the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Bro. Like, that is the worst. What I love about Will Campbell, though, that's impressive, because to have a deep Cajun accent like he does, and then to flip it to where it sounds sort of like I wouldn't say Boston, I'd say more like you know, Springfield, Mass voice, as opposed, he's a little bit further outside the city. You sound like
Jamaica, Queens. That's what I hear.
Oh, he sounds like Jacksonville.
Well, no,
Jacksonville, do
I
it.
can talk about some crawdads out in Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. You heard me, boy? You heard me, Waldy?
They gonna now you
like Clint Eastwood.
I told you it's the state of Louisiana,
hey, baby.
and then it's state of New Orleans, and then it's Louisiana.
Hey, baby, we appreciate you for coming out here. Emory Hunt.
Let me get excited. My New Orleans accent comes
buzz. It happens all the time. This is what we're dealing with when you got Zach out here just chirping. Take another look at it. Best players available after round 1. Of course, later tonight we will see who gets their name called out of this list here. More action from Green Bay, but more buzz after this.